Peace, 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 peace. It's Andrew, Promise Child once again. How we doing, y'all? Taking this walk on this beautiful day, enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? Working on losing this weight. You heard me? So let's get to it, right? Let's get to the message, right? So a lot of people want to know, how do you love yourself, right? How do you love yourself? How do you believe in yourself? And the most important thing is you got to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, bro, if you don't know who you are, sis, you ain't never gonna love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who you are, and you can't love what you don't know. You only can love what you know. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so it takes time to sit down and figure out what you are, who you are. You know what I mean? That takes time. But I get it. We live in a society, we live in a world where it's like a rat race. You feel what I'm saying? It's like a treadmill race. You ever been on, everybody just chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing, trying to get to some money. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get famous, trying to be famous. And it's like, the more and more you chase outside of yourself, the more and more you become depressed. The more and more you become anxious because you chasing outside of yourself. You're not sitting there figuring out who you are, what your purpose is, what you put on this earth to do, doing the things that you love. I heard Noor Muhammad say, Noor Muhammad said something like this. Noor Muhammad said, do what you're made for, don't do what you're paid for. And there's too many people doing what they paid for and not doing what they made for. And what you're made for, that's your purpose. What is your purpose? Your purpose is whatever you good at, whatever you love to do. Well, that's getting to know yourself. Like I said, number one, you got to get to know yourself first. Many people don't even know who they are and what they are. You feel what I'm saying? You a God, bro. You a God, sis. No matter how much people disagree with it, no matter what nobody say, that's what they don't want you to know. I would listen to Spiritual Tony's song, and that's what Spiritual Tony was saying in the song. Spiritual Tony was like, yo, you a God, boy. They just don't want you to know it. You a God, man. You a God, sis. They just don't want you to know it. You know what I'm saying? They want you to think that you are inferior. They want you to think that you just put on this earth just to work for them and build their empires. That's what they want you to think. You know what I'm saying? They want you to think the things that they print and the things that they make with their logos on it, that's the all be all. Because if you find out who you was, right, and what you are, once you found that out, when you find out you are God, lowercase g, when you find out that you're a creator, when you find that out, man, they can no longer control you. Right? It's this movie, The Tudors, right? I'm watching The Tudors. And in The Tudors, I think it was the last episode on The Tudors, and the show was about King Henry VIII, right? King Henry VIII. And at the end of the show, right, he was like, King Henry was trying to get a divorce from his wife, but the Catholic Church wouldn't allow him to get a divorce from his wife. So his new wife that he was gonna marry, she introduced a book to him, and when she gave him the book, right, in the book it talks about that a king don't have to answer to no man on earth. A king only has to answer to God, right? So he like, word, after he read the book, he like, man, there's some good stuff right here. All I gotta do is answer to God. Wait, I ain't gotta answer to the Catholic Church. I ain't gotta answer to nobody else. All I gotta do is answer to God. So when he realized that, he was like, shoot, I'm divorcing Shawty. I'm gonna divorce this lady, and I'm gonna go ahead and marry this new lady because I don't have to go through no man on earth, only have to answer to God. So when they heard this, I think it was like the priest or whatever that was inside there. And the priest and them, the priest was like, yo, man, did you hear what happened? And they talking to each other. It was like two priests, two members of the church or whatever, right? I'm not 100% sure if they was priests in that. But they end up meeting up and they talking to each other. And he said to the other, he said, man, Woozy said, you don't tell a king what he can do, you tell a king what he ought to do. Then he says, when a lion knows his own strength, no man will be able to control him. Man, that's my favorite part of the show. And it's like, what, 3 seasons to it, 4 seasons to it? I done watched all the seasons, and that was like my favorite part. That was like my favorite part of the whole show when he said that. When the king realized his own strength, no man could be able to control him. And what that mean? He either gonna kill you, or you gonna kill him, or you just let him be and let him go about his business. You know what I'm saying? So when you realize who you are, These corporations ain't gonna be able to control you no more. When you realize who you are, these governments not gonna be able to control you no more. When you realize who you are, you won't get up and settle for crumbs no more. You won't settle for $13 an hour no more, $15 an hour no more. You won't settle for working for these crappy jobs when you realize who you are. You won't settle for welfare when you realize who you are. And I ain't knocking nobody that's on welfare, and I ain't knocking nobody that work for $13 an hour. What I'm saying is when you realize who you are, you'll create your own job. When you realize who you are, you'll grow your own food. When you realize who you are, you have your own manufacturing companies and things of that nature. You'll be producing your own. You'll be what God put us on this earth to be. God gave man dominion over the earth. You know what I'm saying? Then he told man, be fruitful and multiply. So not just have dominion over the earth, but be fruitful and multiply. Man, you made to be a producer. You know what I'm saying? You made to be a warrior. You made to be a conqueror. You know what I mean? You a creator. You a God. And I just want to get on here. As I take this walk, I'm going to finish enjoying this walk. Finish enjoying nature and being outside. But I just wanted to get on here and say this. Sit down. Learn yourself. Learn to love you. Learn to care about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Because too many people hate themselves, not because they inadequate. They hate themselves because they don't have no money. They hate themselves because they ain't got the car they want. They hate themselves because they ain't got the house or the house or the apartment that they want, the condo that they want. You know what I'm saying? That's why they hate themselves. Nah, man. Things don't make you, you make the things. Money is irrelevant without human beings. You know what I'm saying? Cars, houses, all that stuff is irrelevant without you. You the one who give power to it. It don't give power to you.